Alright guys, so we are live. So what's up guys, it's Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here at TimTalks. And hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Now before I begin, I just want to again shout out to all of you guys for all of your support over here on the channel and the podcast. Whether you went on Instagram and loving the stuff that I made over there. It's a little bit silly, but again, it does speak the truth and it's all about the world, right? So again, I hope you guys enjoy the stuff that I've been putting out, the episodes or whatever, or wherever you came from. Again, your support is always appreciated. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to do this kind of episode because I'm also reflecting. It's been like a whole year since I've been over here in NYC, and not gonna lie, it's quite a blast. Like I saw a lot of things, a lot of differences, a lot of changes, and don't get me wrong, I came from a place that's pretty urbanized, but just being over here in the Big Apple is something totally different. And I don't know if you guys can relate. If any of you guys are here in NYC, again, you guys know that feeling. But then, like I said, as you grow on with it, again, it's still awesome just because there's so much that I haven't yet to see over here. And so if you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. I'll hear you guys out, and you guys are awesome. And for anyone who's just wondering about the city, I'm gonna do a podcast on that later on, but I'm gonna just say it is so gosh dang worth it. I'm not sugarcoating it. It is amazing to be over here, and it's amazing to support like a diverse and awesome community. And I just enjoy it. My love is there, and it always will be. I always wanted to come over here to NYC, and now that I'm over here a year later, and I don't feel that change. It's just awesome. But anyway, guys, that's not what this episode's about. That's gonna be for a later podcast. But on this podcast, this episode, I got something different for you guys, and I'm gonna talk about passion. And this is something that many people have sent comments about, and since I feel kind of lazy today, but also just because of the fact that you guys have sent so many comments, again, I'm gonna just summarize it down into one big saying, and it's just some people are asking, what is it about us? How do we find our passion? How is it that we go about our lives, and how do we go about finding the things that we do, the things that we love, and how can that guide us along the way, right? So that's pretty much summing up what all those people's comments have said. And guys, I'm not underappreciating what you guys leave. You guys are awesome, and you guys have been leaving down so much stuff. And again, if you guys aren't seeing it over on YouTube, and it's usually because of the fact that many people like to send them in private, disclosing them on social media, it gets kind of hectic. And again, it's no one's fault, and I understand that, and I appreciate that people want to. I respect people's anonymity, and so I just want to say that that's why you don't usually see them over on YouTube. Some people have mentioned them over on the comments section, and that's completely fine. And I'm just glad that I'm not getting spam, like spammers or haters or whatever. Of course, there's going to be people who question the content, and that's completely fine. But when it comes down to, just people wanting to share what they got and how I can help them, that's all that matters. And, usually in those cases, it's usually private, right? So there's just that. But anyway, guys, back to passion, again, finding what you're passionate about. I'm actually leaning over on the mic just so I can get a more chill space. Thinking about passion, like I said, guys, I am a teacher by profession, and this didn't take, weeks or months, even it took quite a couple years before I can really get the hang of it. And to this day, again, I have no problem with it. Usually they associate teaching for females, but that's not usually the case as well. So I try to be like the one who's like out of odds, or the one who's like the odd one out when it comes down to being an educator. I feel as well that anyone, if they have the chops, they can be a teacher. And finding the passion for that, like I still remember it was when I was 15 over back in Saipan. If you guys don't know where that is, again, totally Google it, you'll find it there. But anyway, back in Saipan, I literally found my passion just from helping out these bunch of first graders. And it was so different because I thought that I never thought I'd take it this far to actually make it what I love. And to this day, I still have no regret in doing so, because there's just something about, I always tell this to people, where if they can say, for example, I ask them, what is it that you can't really question? What is it that you love and you have no questions about it? And, you want to do it regardless of if people, trust you on doing that if people have an opinion about it or not, or if people try to put you down, but you still love to do it. And again, that's different from something, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting others, again, whatever you do is fine, right? But again, something that you love unconditionally, and you don't care about what it is that other people say, and when I say I don't care, I mean it's that, what other people, when they try to put you down or something like that, you don't take it against them, but you instead move forward, right? Whatever it is that matches those criteria, that's going to be your passion. And if I were to say it like that, this whole episode will be done in like 5 minutes. But I got more to say, just because of the fact that when you find passion, again, there's just more to it, and sometimes it requires a bit of backstory. And so back to what I was saying about what I did and how I got to teach. I always remember I was 15 years old. So I was a sophomore in high school, not necessarily like old enough, right? Or rather, experienced enough, right? So again, it was just a bunch of us, maybe like 40, give or take, in this program. It was called Teacher Academy. And it was just an introductory course, and I don't know why, but I just felt the want to just go along with it and enter in it. I think I remember that there was going to be a stipend for it. So don't get me wrong, guys. Initially it was for money. Again, that was at the beginning. And so with that in mind, and they said that you get some quote unquote street cred or something like that. You also get to meet with these people who handle education. And regardless, at the time, I always believe that education is important. And I feel that, again, if people, regardless where they get it from, whether it be school, whether it be home, again, it's all about just the learning experience. And so that's what I centered on, right? So back to that. So with regards to my mindset at the time, I was focused solely on, just earning and working my way toward college, because at the time I still didn't know what the heck to do, and I didn't know what the heck I was getting into. I let alone did people even know what the heck they were following along with me, right? We were all just eyeing each other, eyeballing each other, like, what the hell is going on? And what is it that we're going to do? And so with the program, so it took maybe 2-3 years, and then, my colleagues and I, my friends, my close friends and I, when we went along with the program, and there was a lot that they asked from us. They asked us to not only, be interns for these students, they also asked us to complete these courses, which are similar to college. They would be credited toward college. And then apart from that as well, we got these internships we got to juggle. They asked us to make lesson plans, spearhead the classrooms and all that. And so just thinking about all of that, and mind you guys, I was still in high school and I still have my own things to do alongside that. I still got classes, and, Saipan is a U.S. territory, so I'm pretty much experiencing what other high schoolers are experiencing. The drama, the bullying or whatever. And, I've just been seeing that. And again, it's a shame, but again, this is all about passion for the day, right? So again, 3 years of hard work and perspiration and perseverance and all that stuff. And literally, I remember the day when we were going to graduate from this academy, and not only that, but also from my local high school. Again, it was just so much mixed feelings, because, we accomplished so much. And I remember what convinced me about my passion was when I was at this conference, and this was literally not just a conference, but rather, a celebration for us making it to the final ends of the program. We went from 40 people all the way down to freaking 10 people. And it was just so surreal that that's what happens, because people want to find what they love, and, passion goes a long way. And so, people found out in other ways, and that's completely fine, right? If people want to teach, I feel as though people need to want to love it. They want it and they appreciate it, and they make their sacrifices. Being a good teacher, again, sometimes it's just that one person who can really push through, and that's all that matters, right? So literally, I remember I was voluntold to be the MC for that celebration. I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do, and I didn't know the script and all that time. They did give me a script, but then it was like, what was I supposed to do? And all those skills that I've learned in the program, it all amounted to that. It all boiled down to that one single thing that I could do, and that's be this MC for the event that I was supposed to be celebrating, not hosting, right? So again, But these were also for people at the Board of Education. So think of it like in NYC, you're like talking to pretty much the federal government. Think of it in that way, right? So again, you can feel how nerve wracking that was, having to look through the script and having to bring up these people, these prestigious people who have done their best, regardless of whatever people think or not, to just try and help the profession, you know? So again, there was just so much there happening. And when they said I did a good job, that's what really cemented my choice where, I'm in the place where I want to be. I'm in the place where, hey, I can improve on this. And then lo and behold, like from there, I got my degree in education. I thought of it as something that I love unconditionally. I didn't care what anyone thought. And, I take feedback seriously. And also, I try to be the role model for other people. And that's part of the reason why I also did the podcast. And, you're probably thinking, for example, sometimes I'm freaking swearing, and it does happen, but it's only because I know that the new gen, they literally know what's going on. And so I'm not sugarcoating that. That's why I say it, because I know they know it, right? There's no reason to hide it. It's the only thing to do is to control it, right? Once it's known, it's like people just gotta learn how to chill out, right? So there's just that. But again, that was my story. But I want to get down to what you guys have been asking this whole time, and in the comments, so many of you guys. And how is it that you find what you love? I'm not saying take it from me. Like I said, I'm not bragging or anything, but take it from, again, someone who really didn't have a clue what to do. Imagine the first thing that I thought of was being a businessman. And to be honest, I hate business just because of the fact that I know it's good. That's how we got the things that we have. That's how we got the things that we love. And I appreciate that. I love all of that. That's why I have this microphone on my iPhone to talk to you guys. It's why I have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things. And it's why I get to be with you guys, and the world gets to be what it is, right? But there's just something about, the thing is with passion, again, if you don't love it, right? And if you're being forced to do it, that's not your passion, right? So again, take it from me, who really had no clue. Again, if you don't love it, it doesn't have to be 100%, but if you have that feeling of, self-doubt, right? If you have that feeling about this and you're like, yeah, is this your profession? It probably ain't, right? It's got to be something that you love. On top of that, it's even worse if, let's say, a parent or another adult is forcing you into this path that you don't want. It can't just be about the money. And that's usually the case where people, they try to find higher earnings. But sometimes, again, there's a difference between, you can earn, right? You can earn, but not to sound morbid or anything, but your life, right? You only have one life. You don't know if you're going to live up to 100 or if you're going to live up to 30, right? You don't know. And with that in mind, right, are you going to spend it doing a career or, a job that you hate, right? So do you want to stick around and hate that job and resent it, and lo and behold, something happens, right? And you leave with that feeling, no, right? You don't want to leave this world just thinking that I'm in a job that's secure, There's just more to it than that. And, I get that. Parents and other adults suggest that, you need a job where you can secure yourself. You need to start something up so you can have money, and then you can have the life that you want. The problem is with that is, what if it's not what you want, and you grow to resent it, right? So again, with passion, it's got to come from the heart, and there's no way to there's no way to just like beat around the bush with that. If you want to live life, and if you want to be part of life, and you want to enjoy life, again, start by looking what you want to do and what you love, right? And from there, regardless of whatever obstacle comes your way, with college, with life, again, it's all down to you, because again, part of the reason why people don't like what they do is because they don't want that at all. I can see, for example, like people who work in fast food, right? And I worked in the F&B industry. I know how it feels. I was a barista. I wasn't a barista for Starbucks, but the difference there where I worked at as a barista is that I was alone. It was like one person per shift with the same crowd that you'd get from Starbucks. So again, it was hell. And that's why I came to appreciate people who work in that, because, they, above all, people, unless you really want to run a restaurant, unless you really love to cook, you love food or whatever, but if you want to sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears for it, unless you want to do that, I guarantee you people don't want to be there. I guarantee people say they quote unquote, like hate their lives or something like that, right? And, I feel that because people don't deserve that, right? It's not what they're passionate about, and it's just something that's temporary, right? I don't see people working unless you're a manager at McDonald's for the rest of your life, right? That's not always the case. It ain't cool, right? So there's just that. Sorry, guys, if you hear something outside. Again, they're doing some construction. I do apologize for that, right? But anyway, guys, thinking about that, thinking about what you want is more important, right? Don't follow the pathway that you're forced to do. Don't follow the pathway that you're forced to love. You can't force love onto other people, right? It's unconditional. There's no reason to do so, right? And people can't just beat around and screw around with the fact that, I get it as well. People need to earn, right? But, what's the point in earning when you ain't learning, right? So, again, if you're not devoted to something that you love, right? And even if it seems as though it's out of reach, again, it's all about what you want, right? Are you determined to do that, right? Do you want to do that because it's something you feel it in your heart, your body, mind, and soul, that you want to do that and you want to enjoy that, right? Is it something that you feel comfortable with? Is it something that you feel devoted to? Is it something that you feel that, above all, you feel that unfiltered and unconditional and unadulterated love and passion for it, right? So again, that's what counts, right? And so before I get into that, before I get more into what advice I could give you guys, enjoy what we have here on the radio. Again, shout out to Vlog No Copyright Music for their wonderful beats. They are amazing. And so take a listen. right, guys, so we are back. So I hope you guys enjoyed what we had on the radio today. Again, shout out to Vlog, No Copyright Music, for everything that they've done. They have many wonderful artists that what I love about them is that these artists who seem like they're at the back, they bring them to the front, and then they share what it is that these people have made their efforts and poured their heart out to do. So again, they brought these artists out to life, and so they brought them onto this bigger channel, and they shouted them out, and they supported them, and I love them for that because they are amazing. They just wanted to do what they love, you know. So again, guys, so back to what I was saying, with passion, it shouldn't come from another person. It should come from you, and no one can hold that against you. When it comes down to, like, I remember many of my friends, they wanted to go into fine arts, right? And usually the case, what happens is that people say, oh, it's only this one-time thing where, if you don't have the materials, if you don't have that, then you ain't gonna succeed. But sometimes I think about this, when it comes down to like fine arts, for example, if that was your passion, right? There's more to it than just art, right? There's like graphic design, filmography, discography, and all those other branches that you can get into just by majoring in fine arts, Sometimes it's a one-track mind that leads us off the rails. And so that's awful. And when people think of it in that mindset, but then there are people who think outside the box and think, hey, I'm going to build my profile. I'm going to make a career out of this. If I feel that I'm devoted to that, I'll go for it, right? And like I said, if you do what you love, you'll find the big bucks. I promise you. Sometimes, again, what adults argue is that the money part, right? And I get what they feel because money can get tight. Money can make you afraid because people don't want to die. People don't want to do those kind of things. But then again, if I were to die, I want to die happy. I want to die happily, and I want to die with doing what I love and not hating the life that I once had. I want to leave the world, and I want to go somewhere to a better place, knowing that in my heart that I did what I had to do. I did what I love. I was a good person. And that's how it is. If you find what you love, you'll be a kinder person. Because what you love can bring out the best in you. And you guys can argue about that in another way, but seriously, like, for example, people may look mean, but maybe it's because they're short-sighted about something. But if they're doing what they love, there's still hope, right? Passion brings out the hope, the prayers, the faith, the love, and everything that's so wonderful is because of the fact that we chose the path that we want. We chose the path that we want, and the profession that calls to us, and we hear it and we listen to it and we hone in on it. And so that's important. Like, if I thought to myself, if I were gonna be a businessman, like I said in the last part, I wouldn't be where I'm doing right now. I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, which is podcasting and, sharing my advice and all those things. I wouldn't be doing any of that. And because when you're in business, it's like time is money. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want to devote my precious time of my life devoted squarely towards earning, If, say time is money, and if all your time is devoted to money, then where are you going to use the money, right? And I don't want it to just be like, oh, you take a vacation at the end of the year or whatever. No, sometimes people need a break, right? People need a break from doing what it is that they do, and they grow to resent that because they don't want to do that. There's more to life, guys. There really is more to life, and I'm breathing it out that there is no alternative to that, right? There's more to life, and people should have the life that they deserve, If you want to live the better life, right? It all starts with the love, right? It starts with the love, and it starts with just that unfiltered and unconditional devotion to it. When it comes down to passion, again, it's something you just don't question because it's like, it in your heart, and it that people can guide you, and people can give you tips, people can advise you, but above all, the decision comes down to you. This is your choice, right? And I know that when people find what they love, when people have made their first choice and they honed in on it and they loved it, I guarantee you that they're gonna live their life happily, right? So, again, when it comes down to, again, my advice to you is this: if you want to find your passion, think about your life. Think about the good times and the bad times, but mostly think about what you felt in your heart that you love, what you feel emotionally, and body, mind, and soul, and all those things. Well, what do you love most of all? And what do you want to do to achieve that, right? So again, it's just, it sounds as simple as that, and truth be told, it is, right? Sometimes you just need to take a step back from reality and delve back into like creativity, delve back into yourself and think, what am I doing like right now, right? What's all this for, and what am I working towards, right? And if you cannot answer that question, what you're working towards, chances are you're still looking for what you love, right? Looking for what you love, and that's good, because at least it's on the horizon, right? Rather than say I made a mistake, it's like I don't want to make one, right? I don't want to make a mistake. I want to choose something that I can hone in on, that was something that carried me through childhood, and then something that I love in the future. I have seen people, very good people, and they're just so humble and so forgiving and so wonderful and loving. And what sets them apart is that they pursued the thing that they wanted to. Again, you'd be surprised at what difference can it make. Just one choice is to be you above all, to be yourself, and no one else can say otherwise, right? Because if you yourself understand who you are, you know what advice to listen to. You know what's good and what's bad. You know what it is that you love. You know what it is that has brought you there, and what it is that will guide you for the future. That's literally the principle, that's literally the basic principle of life, is that you're not born in life with a purpose. You're just born in life to do whatever, right? And if I'm going to do whatever, I want to do what I love. And I want the same for all of you guys, regardless of who you are, race, color, sexual orientation, gender. I don't give a crap about that. I don't mind, because it's all about you. I'm going to take you as a human. I'm going to take you as a person, and mindsets change. People are brought out and brought in differently. People become themselves. They're struggling to find themselves. And, just starting with this is like, when your first choice about what you want to do in life and you're happy with it, you'll learn to find yourself. That's why, when things go my way, people express self doubt on me on certain things, and I understand their worries, and I don't argue with them, because they're not ready. When people, here's the thing: when people start to question you about the passion that you wholeheartedly believe, it's because they don't know. People can get jealous, people can get envious, people can grow to hate, and you don't want to follow those footsteps, right? Because you just want to hope that they can find it, right? If you're prayerful or not, again, you just want to hope for the best in people, right? And hope that people can find what it is that they love. And again, that's the mindset that comes with when you made your choices, right? You learn from your parents, and regardless of how you feel about them or not, if you're still alive today and you're approaching that time where you get to make your own choice, make it for yourself. Make it for yourself. Make it for something that you wholeheartedly believe. Make it for something that you can uphold and you can fight for and you can love for, right? And above all, just doing all of those things, again, you amount yourself to a wonderful, happy, and prosperous life. Don't just focus on the money as many people are going for. I've heard so many people just wanting to go for the big bucks, but you can go for the big ones, or you can make it your way. Make your way there, right? Because if you just go for the big bucks, sometimes I think of it as like just going for the lottery, you know? And what good is the lottery if you don't like it, right? If you're going for the job that you want to, and I've heard this before from a friend, and I'm not going to criticize her. I heard her said that she wants to be, like, go into medical school. And I'm like, thinking, okay, cool, that's awesome. And then I followed up with a question, is that something that you were really into? But then she said this. She said, I wanted to go for something that pays a lot of money. And I'm like, girl, if you were going for that and you're gonna operate on me, that's scary. Because I know that as well, that people are gonna they have to do well at their job to be able to do what they do, right? They have to be good at their job if they made it that far, right? But sometimes I thought with that mindset, it's just masking the idea that, for example, if you went along with it just for the money, right? What if you feel content with the money? Then what? You're gonna work that shift and, just reflect on what it is that you're earning rather than what it is that you're working on, working for, working towards, right? And like I said, if a nurse is just working for the money and all of a sudden they slip up, right? They're not gonna regret it, right? There's a chance that they may not regret it because of the fact that, like I said, it may not be what they want. Like if you want to be a nurse, you gotta want to heal people, right? You gotta want to heal people, and you have to, right? Don't just do it because you thought it's the easy way out of a poor lifestyle. Because honestly, people have to work their way out of poverty. And how do I know that? Because I was there. I didn't have the best life. And even though I saw it, there was a time when I felt that everything was collapsing around me, and I didn't like that. But I worked my way out of it, and now here I am thinking, I made it here to this place where every opportunity, and I try to take advantage of it. I'm going to carry this on, regardless if I'm a teacher or not. I know that it's a secure job, but I loved it. And I still want to podcast. I still want to make memes. I still want to do surveys towards money. I still want to do those. It's because I want to. I want to. I love to. And it's just that. And I look at people now as like people are just working their way toward it. I believe everyone deserves a better life. But I also believe as well that people need to work for it as long as it's something that they love. Don't work for something that you're going to regret. Don't work your way towards something that's a one trick pony, right? So again, it's all about that mindset. And again, it does take time to really, really dig that, to really, really understand that. But trust me when I tell you, in this day and age, looking at life and looking at the shiz that is happening out there, I believe that every moment, just treasure your life. You don't know what happens, and work your way towards something that you love. Work your way toward the love. Work your way towards the heart. Because above all, if you think of it in that way, you're going to find what you love. You will live a good life, and I promise you, you'll learn to appreciate other people. And even if a Karen stops your way, even if whatever goes your way, again, you know what's best for you. You know what you need to do. You know what's good. You know what people are experiencing. And if people are trying to put you down, well, let's be the good people, and let's try and pull them up. I know that we're afraid of other people, but if other people are suffering, sometimes it's just to take another look, right? To take another look at what's happening. I can see poor people on the streets, like the homeless, and their life, they feel just by having someone else talk to them, they appreciate that. They appreciate every moment. I wish I could bring every homeless person into this room and just have them be at my side, but I can't because I just don't have that means yet, and I'm still working my way towards my passion. And only by then, when I achieve all of that, I can bring other people in for the ride. I can work towards doing what I love. I especially like helping people. I don't know what it is about me, and regardless of the risk, again, it's all about the heart again. And so with that mindset, I think that's what I will carry on for with the rest of my life. Sorry for that. So that's what I'm working towards. And I hope the same for you guys. Whoever left these comments centered on this one topic, again, I hope you guys were inspired. I hope I said things that didn't just come out of my a-hole, because I'm talking for 30 minutes and I forgot to bring my water. But anyway, you guys, I hope, please do what you love, not what others tell you to do, because you have to be content with that if you want to do what you love. Right? Don't just work toward the big bucks, because I guarantee you that's not gonna make you happy. It will just be like, okay, you work toward the big bucks, but imagine you're not just you're just happy when you get home. You're not happy with your job, and that I think is worse because you work more. Imagine you spend like 8 hours, 9 hours working at this job you hate. You come home, eat, and then you go back to bed. That's it, right? Imagine that. Imagine that mindset. Imagine that life, right? You hate in the morning, you feel relaxed at night. And even then, you're not even conscious, right? It's just to get physical relief. But then when you wake up, gotta get back into it, right? And then you grow to resent, you grow to hate. And imagine what other circumstances come your way. If you lose that job, right? All of that is gone, right? So again, do what you love, because it's those memories. I still remember those memories that I love. That is what's going to define your life. Just love, guys. And I don't want to say it's simple, but I think you're working your way towards it. I have hope for you guys. You guys are awesome. And I hope for the best. All right? So, hey, guys, that's going to wrap it up. And that's going to be it for this episode of Convos. Again, you guys have been an amazing audience. I love you all. I hope I'm still trying to arrange where I can find the time to, just talk to you guys as well, in face to face through the camera. I'm just trying to organize that. But seriously, guys, you guys are unbelievable. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys find what you love in life. Please stay safe out there. Please stay awesome. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. But anyway, guys, if you guys have anything that you want to ask, please leave them down in the comments. If you guys want to check out the soundtrack we used earlier, please go ahead and check out the description, any of my Soch. If you guys want to reach out to me privately, you guys know where to find my Soch. I think I mentioned it every single episode at this point. So, unless you're new, then if you're new, then find it in the description, all right? But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Please like, share, sub, and much love. You guys have been awesome. This is Mr. T signing off over here in NYC. I gotta grab some water. Much love, everyone, and see you at the next episode, right? Peace out and have an awesome day.